We're on part 3 of chapter 8. I'm on page 201, and we're going to go ahead and replace our Kahlua Coffee logo that we started earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1 on the top of the page. Number 1 says select the move tool, which we already have it selected, and then select the coffee cup layer. Choose File, Place Linked, and then you need to navigate back to your Student G drive, back to your Photoshop book tutorial folder for lesson 8, and we're going to click on Logo Type, EPS in the file folder, and hit Place. Drag the logo type object to the upper left corner of the sign, just to the right of our coffee cup. Then press Shift and drag the corner to make the text object proportionally larger, large enough that it fills the top portion of the image, as in the following illustration. So if you look on page 201, you'll be able to see. When you've finished, press Enter or Return to commit your changes. Looks pretty good. And then you can either hit Commit or you can press Enter. With the logo type layer selected, choose Overlay from the Add a Layer Style icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. Color Overlay. In the Layer Style dialog box, choose a dark red or burgundy color. So if you click on the swatch, you just can come over here and choose like a dark red or burgundy. Hit OK. Click Bevel and Emboss on the left side of the Layer Style dialog box. To add another layer style. So we added that Bevel and Emboss. I'm going to go ahead. My settings are a little bit different because it saved these settings from earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and set the settings for what your book says. You need Inner Bevel. And then for technique, choose Smooth. Depth should be 100. Direction up. Size 7. For soften, 0. For angle, 30. Altitude should be 30. And then you want to choose your default angle here, whatever that's called. Let's see what that's called. The linear. And then for highlight, you want to choose screen and white. Opacity should say 50%. And then shadow mode should say multiply. Keep that as black. Opacity is 50%. And hit OK. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the coffee cup and see if I can't make this a little bigger. I'm going to hit, let's try and transform it. Control T to transform. And I'm going to hit Shift to constrain the proportions and drag that coffee cup up a little bit. Make it a little bigger so it looks nicer. You Even if it's a book tutorial, you always want it to try and look nice. You always want to do your best. Hit enter. Okay, so we are on step 4. Step 4 says press Alt as you drag the layer effect indicator from the logos layer onto the coffee cup layer. So here's your layer effect indicator. I'm going to click Alt and I'm going to drag this down to the coffee cup layer, and you can see that I created the same effects to the coffee cup as we have to the text. Clean up the Paths panel by deleting the cup outline. Choose File. Save your work. The coffee shop sign is now complete and you can save your file.